I'm back with another 5-stem or less arrangement using the same Callista vase that we used when we did the greenery version. This one is when you want a little something more, and you know how much we love the blossom branches. They're just beautiful, and if I could get them in multiple colors, if they offered them, we would have them in every single color. And these are the beautiful True Bloom Real Touch blossom branches. They feel a little cool to the touch. They have that natural weight, and they just kind of fall as they would in nature, and they're beautiful. So these are definitely your nicer, higher end stems that you would put in here into this type of arrangement. Also in this arrangement, we have a beautiful flocked, they call this, it's a cream, and I call it a cream and a lavender protea stem. And I think this is the star of the show right here. And then for some filler, I used some asparagus fern bush and I clipped it. So I took one asparagus fern bush and used about 3/4 of that. And what I did is I just nipped all the pieces, as you'll see shortly, and stuck that in as filler at the end. So this one again is 5 stems or less. I used 2 of the beautiful creamy blossom branch, 1 of the light purple blossom branch, 1 beautiful protea here, and then the asparagus fern bush as the filler. Let's go about how we took this together and how we're going to take it apart and rebuild her to make her look like this for you. Ready to get started? Here we go. Callista vase all by her beautiful self. Then we have our stems. What we have is the 2 blossom branches that we talked about. I have one at full length, which is 23.5 inches, and then I have one bent. And so this one, the amount of bend I did to create the look that I just showed you is 3.5 inches. So this is a 3.5 inch bend, and I did the same thing. I used the elastic, which is wonderful. Then on this one, we have 1 of the purple, and I had bent it to kind of get that shape. Down here, for height on the bend at the bottom, we have 2.5 inches in height for this one. And that's just to create the look that I made. You might want it a little taller and a little fuller, and if you do, then you won't need to be doing the same amount of bending that I did. Then I have my pieces of asparagus fern bush, which are a nice pile here. I have 6 pieces total of asparagus fern bush that I nipped up from 1 full bush. Then we have our beautiful protea. Now this protea, I would share with you, it's bent. These are the types of stems. This one probably will not be easily bendable without it doing the bend that I told you about earlier in the green bush. So these do open up when you bend them. So you want to know that if you're going to put this together, this is probably the height that you're going to have it. So be prepared to go ahead and just give it a clip or keep it at the bend, but these aren't as flexible as some of these other stems that you can just open up and rebend. So be prepared for your protea to be a permanent fixture here or be used in something else. It's going to take about the same height as this one did. Okay, let's get started on this one. This one I bent at essentially 8 inches. So the protea has an 8-inch bend, and I did use the elastic again because, as we talked about, those elastics save the day for me, especially when you're in a narrow vase. You just can't help it. You don't have a lot of room, and you don't want all your stems to get stuck together. We're going to start with our anchor. So for our anchors on this one, they're actually going to be our blossom branches, because our focal flower on this is going to be our protea and our filler is our asparagus fern bush. And we could use this purple one. You could call this a movement stem, but your creams are definitely your anchor stems here. So I'm going to put in my tallest stem first. Then I'm going to put in the other stem that we bent and set it in here. And then we'll start adjusting it a little bit more. Once we have everything in, we'll kind of move. So for now, we have our anchor, and I want the height in the back, and then I want one out over here. Next, we're going to go ahead and put in our star, our leading lady, and that's our focal flower, the beautiful protea. And she's gorgeous. She's that flocked, creamy, lavender, purple, rich, textural, and that's what you want as well. When you're building an arrangement like this, you want a little bit of everything. You want some softness, you want some texture, something that's really going to be that focal point for you, and then you want that filler, as we mentioned before, to fill in space, yes, and also create depth and shadow. So this is how we're doing it. We're doing a little soft with a little more, not harsh. This is a little bit more. It's more focal. It's what's going to draw your eye. And then the softness is going to take this and even out the brightness, if you will, of this beautiful protea. So we're going to stick her in and slide her in here. There we go. She slides down in it. And she slides down perfectly because I prevent her. You will find that if you're just playing with your flowers and you haven't yet decided the bends that you're going to do, it's just going to be a little trial and error. You'll get in here and you'll kind of decide your height, and then you'll take your stems down when you're getting finally ready to do the arrangement itself. But it does take a little bit of time to figure out the sizes that you want to do. And we have her in, and then we're going to put in this beautiful stem. Now this one, I'm actually going to slide towards the back, and you'll see what I'm doing with it. We're going to bring it in, turn it around. And what we're going to do here is we're going to take this one and bring it forward and this way. What I'm doing is I'm weaving in a little bit of that purple blossom branch into and in between the cream. And this will just take you a few minutes to do, but it does make all the world of difference because you want it to kind of come in again and fill space and be seen. It's so beautiful. You want that branch in there. So there's the purple blossom, and she's gorgeous. And I just brought a little bit forward here, and then we're going to bring a little bit down here. So you see a little bit kind of peek down off to the side of the arrangement. And then we're going to use our asparagus fern bush to fill everything in. Now that you have your anchor, you have your focal, you have your filler, or no, your filler, your movement. Now we're going to put in the filler. And I like these pieces that have the double for the back of the arrangement because it helps me fill in. So I'm taking it and I'm putting in right here because now I get a little off to the side, but I still get some that's going to peek into the back a little. So I have this piece here. Then we're going to take another tall piece and stick it in back here. And that's what we're kind of creating and filling out the back a little bit before I move to the front. And then you just take it and play with it a little as you get it in. And sometimes you'll find when you have it in, you don't love it, take it out, move it around a little bit, and then put it back in. Let's slide something down here in the front. And then you want a couple of pieces. I liked mine having a little bit of fullness in the front and something to come down. Again, just because I want to hide this opening of the top of the vase to my stem. Otherwise, it's a little too open for me personally, so I like to take it and bring it down a little bit. And then I take another piece here and fill it in and let it come down and around. And you're also going to find that as you play with these, no arrangement is going to be exactly the same again once you take it apart and put it back together unless you've kind of already gridded it all out. And that's kind of the fun part. You get a different look every time. So I decided I don't love that piece here. I'm going to use a different piece. And we're going to slide it down and in. And I like this much better. Then we have our final piece here, and we're going to look to see where she might need to go. And I'm going to say we have some back here. We're going to fill it in right here. And I'm just going to slide it in. And there we go. Now, I'm going to bend the head of the protea just a little bit to bring it down. Done. We have 5 stems or less. You have the beautiful blossom branch, protea, and asparagus fern bush arrangement in the white Callista vase. easy, and this one's a little more summer and colorful. Still staying on the neutral side though of things. That way, if you have any of these color schemes in your house or you're very neutral in your home, this will be your pop of color. And if you already have some of these pretty kind of lavenders and creams, this will make a beautiful complement to all of your decor. And again, she's lovely. She's just a little bit more. So for those of you that love the color, this would be your girl. And for those of you that love the greenery, the one with all of the globe amaranth and the eucalyptus would be your preference. See you soon.